Poverty mindset. What is a poverty mindset? And how can it mess you up? A poverty mindset is a mindset where you think poor, act poor, hang around with poor people, do poor things, achieve poor achievements, and feel poor. What do I mean by poor? When I say feel poor, what do I mean? What do I mean poverty mindset? Well, okay. I don't mean poor as in money poor. Yes, money poor is what we think about. But a poor mindset is when you're actually thinking lesser than you can, okay? So you're coming from a position of lack in your thoughts and in your actions and in your aspirations. That's a poverty mindset and poor mindset. You can be from a monetary poor background and have a rich, wealthy mindset where your mind is geared towards achievement, plan, goal, building, and actually servitude, okay, in a productive manner, okay? You can be that way. A poverty mindset, a poor mindset, is one where it's difficult to accept when other people are doing well, yeah? It's that old saying, crabs in a barrel. When you have a poverty mindset, you pull other people down because you don't want anybody to get further than you are because the mindset is poor. So a poverty mindset, okay, crabs in a barrel, this will lead you to a place of certain uncertainty, because with poverty, the only way is down if you are of a poverty mindset, okay? And the uncertainty that comes with poverty is you don't know where you're going to live or how you're going to continue or any of those things. So it's uncertainty, but the only way is down. And often people with a poverty mindset, they can't see past the end of their nose, can't see past the now, and only want to feel the now. You can have a poverty mindset and have money, okay? That's common for some people who are in poverty, who might achieve money through activities that aren't so favourable, but the money goes quickly. The reason why it goes so quickly is because of the poverty mindset, the lack in thinking, so the lack for building, the lack for progress, the lack of productivity, because the mindset is poor. So a poverty mindset doesn't help you develop in any way, okay? I grew up in an area which was quite poverty stricken, and most people in a poverty area think poor. And they think poor, they act poor, they become victim to their poor thoughts. They hang around with people who are poor-minded just like them, and they don't get any further because of their own thoughts. A poverty mindset does not accept responsibility, okay? Because when you're thinking poor, the aim is to blame, yeah? The blame game. It's therefore I'm like this, it's therefore I'm like this. People of a poor mindset tend to look outside of themselves and find reasons why they're in that position and don't take responsibility that they can move forward, yeah? Poor mindset will have you blaming everyone, yeah? Everyone and the cow. It's everybody's fault. I'm like this, they did it. It's about not taking responsibility, because a poor mindset person cannot take responsibility, because if they do, they have to accept that they have a poor mindset. So what will a poor mindset bring you? A poverty mindset, what will it bring you? It will bring you anxiety. You will be worried, and you will see a perceived threat in everything because you're poor-minded. So if you have a job, you're not really going to promote yourself any further, but you might see an imminent threat because maybe the company's going to be taken over and you don't know anything else. You might see an imminent threat to your living, or to, you know, how you're going to pay the bills, because your mindset is of a poor mindset, yeah? It can also increase your depression because you'll feel like you have lost or failed, or feel like a failure. And a poor mindset has a really fantastic way of making people feel like they're failures, yeah? And not taking responsibility and looking outside of yourself and blaming will have you doing that. So depression does come with a poor mindset. It's common to see in areas where poverty is quite high, depression is quite high, and it's that crabs in a barrel effect as well. So failure is high, and loss is high because they're constantly losing. So a poor mindset will have you, experiencing bouts of depression, of failure or loss, yeah? And that's just because of the nature of the poor thinking. So you will encompass a vast amount of unhealthy, negative emotions which don't help you move forward, because it's difficult to move forward when you are thinking poorly. A poor mindset can have a build-up of shame. And shame because you don't want something revealed about you. So often, because we don't like to take responsibility when we are thinking in a poor mindset, we blame other people. We don't want it revealed that we could actually get ourselves out of it. There are many cases where you might see people in in poverty-stricken situations, and somebody could have got themselves out of it, but they were too scared because they were worried of the uncertainty, and they don't know any different, and they become ashamed of their lack of trying to get out of it, so they blame again, and then comes the depression. Shame can play a big part in a poverty mindset, and which is another reason why people tend to remain in a poverty mindset, because shame is one of those unhealthy emotions we really do not like to have, and we hide it. Okay, we hide shame, we really do. Envy. So a poverty mindset, a poor mindset, that crabs in a barrel. When you come from an environment where poverty is quite high and people around you are poverty stricken, and I'm talking about when it's not so much monetary but opportunity, progression, ideals, growth and development, envy sets in. If somebody tries to get out, somebody sees something different and wants to jump over the fence and run over the field and down the alley and round the corner and up the hill and into the light, we don't necessarily want them to do that when we have a poor mindset, because we don't want them to do that because it means that there is an opportunity of getting out, and we don't want that revealed. Shame. And so we become envious and we try to hold them down or berate them, tell them, well, no, what are you doing that for? And knock them down and not promote them, or watch enviously and hope that they fail. Anger too is a common unhealthy negative emotion of a poor mindset, because the anger's normally comes out externally, because it's normally projected, where one can feel so angry with themselves for being poor, and they blame everybody else and get angry that somebody's trying to get out, and it proves that they were wrong and feel ashamed, and all this anger comes out, and all this. The anger is often linked to the shame and anxiety and the envy and the fact that they could have done something and it's somebody else's fault, so the blame, lots of blame. So a poor mindset does not allow you to grow. Okay, it keeps you stuck in a box. It's rigid, it's quite tight, and what ends up happening with a poor mindset, you go amongst people with poor mindsets and you drag each other down, because you don't want anybody to go further than you are, so you push yourself to be where you are. That's what a poor mindset will do. Okay, you don't want anybody to go any further. We've been practicing a poor mindset for hundreds of years. And some of us believe that you can only get ahead if you're rich. But that's not true. So what's my point? You can change a poor mindset. Yeah? Okay? You don't have to stay in the poor mindset. Even if you were brought up in poverty, your mindset is yours. And that's the power that you have. Your mind is the most powerful thing that you have. If you leave it to be in lack of good nourishment, good thoughts, good productivity, then you expose yourself to lack, and you expose yourself to poverty. Okay? Now, poverty isn't necessarily just about not having money. There are many estates out there with people living on the breadline with flat screen TVs and fast cars. That's not really riches. That's just things. Your mind is the richest thing that you can have, because it's yours and no one can take it away. For my American viewers, when I say estates out there, what I'm referring to are projects. So we call them estates in the UK, or housing projects as you might call them. And we have those where, you can see a 4x4 in an estate. People signing on and driving really fast cars and looking like they own lots of things and dressed up to the nines, when they they are fighting as hard as they can to be able to afford all of these things, and that they can pretend that they're rich because their mind is so poor. The only way that they can feel that they have anything is if they wear every single penny that they've ever had in their bank account. That is such a poor mindset, okay? That is not being rich, pretending that you are. Rich is when you are living and thinking and doing richness for yourself and productivity, and your mind as well. So you can change a poor mindset, okay? And that's simply done by having a growth mindset. And a growth mindset allows growth and development, okay? I referred to a rich mindset. I was just using the comparison of poor and rich. But growth, because growth is all about, there isn't a ceiling with growth. You can keep growing, yeah, and that's the idea. And you can transfer your poverty mindset to a growth mindset, because if you don't, the only choice that you have is the uncertainty of certainty of falling on the bottom and staying there for generations and generations. But you don't have to do that. That's a choice. Your mindset is your choice. Every day you wake up and you can choose. Choose growth, not poverty. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, hit like, leave some comments, let me know what you think, and please share. Bye for now.